Emek was a very smart young girl with big dreams, and everyone in her school knew she was special. She always wanted to become a doctor so she could help people and take care of sick children in the future. But life for Emek was not easy at all. When she was just 6 years old, her mother, who loved her so much, died after battling cancer for a long time. And that was the first big pain in her life. Her father tried his best after that. He was a hard-working man doing business in Lagos, and he always made sure Emek went to a good school and had books and food and everything she needed. But after the death of her mother, everything slowly changed because loneliness entered their home. And her father later remarried a woman who looked nice at first but had a very bad heart. And that woman came into the house with her own daughter named Sonia. And from the very first week, things changed completely for Emek because the stepmother did not like her at all. And instead of treating her like a daughter, she treated her like a servant in her own father's house. She would wake Emek up very early in the morning to clean the house, sweep, wash plates, mop floors, do laundry, cook food, and still go to school tired. While Sonia, her stepsister, did nothing all day. She would wake up late, watch TV, eat good food, and play on her phone while Emek was doing all the hard work. And if Emek ever complained, the stepmom would shout at her and threaten her and sometimes even deny her food, giving her only leftovers or sometimes nothing at all. And Emek kept everything inside. She never told her father because she knew he was always busy and she didn't want trouble in the house. So she kept suffering quietly and still focused on her studies because she believed education was her only way out. And despite all the suffering, she still worked hard and became one of the best students in her school, passing her exams with very high grades. While Sonia was the opposite. She failed exams and had no interest in school at all. But the stepmom still treated Sonia like a queen and spoiled her more and more, and this made the hatred in the house even worse. As years passed, Emek finished secondary school with excellent results, and she was so happy because her dream was getting closer. And her father was proud of her, and he decided he wanted both Emek and Sonia to travel to America for university so they could have a better future. And he started making arrangements, paying fees and processing documents. And Emeke was so happy because she got admission into a good university in the United States, and her visa process was approved and everything was going smoothly. But around that same time, tragedy struck again, when her father suddenly had a fatal accident while coming back from work and he died instantly. And that moment changed everything because Emeke lost the only parent who truly cared for her, and the house became even darker after his death. The stepmom and Sonia showed no real sadness. They acted like nothing serious happened, and instead they were more worried about money and the fact that Emeke was still going to travel while Sonia was not qualified because she failed exams and could not get admission. And this made the stepmom very angry and bitter because she did not want only Emeke to succeed. So she started planning something evil in secret while pretending to still be normal around Emeke. And Emeke was grieving her father deeply. She cried every night alone, missing both her parents and feeling completely abandoned. But she still believed she had to continue her journey because that was what her father wanted for her. And the travel date was getting closer, and her visa and passport were ready, and she packed her bags with hope in her heart. But the night before her flight, the stepmom and Sonia decided to do something very wicked. They waited until Emek was deeply asleep from exhaustion after days of crying and stress, and quietly entered her room and took her passport and important travel documents and destroyed them by tearing and burning them so she would not be able to travel the next morning. Emek woke up very early, excited and nervous for her journey. But when she checked her documents, she could not find her passport anywhere. And she started searching everywhere in the room, crying and shaking because without it, she could not travel. And her dreams started crashing in front of her. And when she told the stepmom and Sonia, they acted shocked and pretended to help her search. But deep down, they were hiding the truth and enjoying what they had done. And Emek eventually realized her documents were gone, completely destroyed, and she broke down because she knew her future had just been taken away from her, and there was nothing she could do at that moment. And after that, things became even worse. Because with her father gone, there was no one to protect her, and the stepmom fully took control of the house and started treating Emek even worse than before, forcing her to do all the housework from morning till night, while Sonia continued living freely and enjoying life. And Emek, who once had dreams of becoming a doctor, was now trapped in a painful life of constant work, sadness and loneliness. And she stopped going out as much and slowly lost hope as the days turned into months and months into years. And without support, without money, and without anyone to stand for her, she became weaker emotionally and physically. Because she was not eating well. Most times she was given very little food and she worked endlessly, and her body could not handle it. And she became very sick and tired. But no one cared for her in that house. And the stepmom only saw her as free labor and kept pushing her harder every day. And Emek kept remembering her father and her dream of becoming a doctor, but it felt far away, like a dream that could never come back. And one day, she fell very ill, and there was no proper help or care for her, and she was left weak and alone in her suffering. And in that silence, her life slowly came to an end. Not because she deserved it, but because she was failed by the people who were supposed to protect her. And the house remained the same after that, as if nothing had happened. And Sonia and her mother continued their lives without remorse, while the story of Emek became a sad reminder of how cruelty and silence can destroy a bright future, and how a dream once full of hope can be stolen when there is no one to speak up or stand in the gap for a child who only wanted a better